Hello and welcome back for episode 7
Hi.
of Man's Glory Podcast, where we keep it real
Real
biblical.
biblical.
And here's the thing, I don't know what episode we're on, but today we're getting into depression, I guess. Or more so, I don't believe in depression. And when I say I don't believe in depression, I'm going to explain that. I just find it funny that I've had at least 6 conversations this week, especially like within the last 3 days, about depression. Or more so, we're focusing on how to stay focused on God in the dark times. I say when they sing, because sometimes it's just like when stuff hits you, it hits you hard, and it's just like everything just keep coming at one time. And so I understand the expression when they say stuck between a rock and a hard place. Is that right?
That's not depression.
Oh, what's the expression?
About depression?
No, the expression stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Oh,
That is the expression.
Oh, well. I don't
She
know.
don't know.
I've
She make
never,
up her own
I've never
stuff.
been depressed. But stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, but that don't mean depression with me. But
No,
okay.
I said I was talking about that referring to
Okay.
when they say
The
everything just
phrase.
hits you at one time.
Okay.
Like when one thing happened, then everything else just keep going.
Okay.
So I make the statement that I don't believe in depression, and I say this because not that I don't think it's real, doesn't exist. I say it because of the way I was brought up and what my dad told me. You have 2 spirits: spirit of error and the spirit of truth, right?
All right.
The spirit of truth is all about light, peace. Rita's fighting with her clothes. So the spirit of truth is all about life, light, peace, comfortability, and all of the things, right? Everything good. Not that you're not going to go through things, not that you're not going to have to battle things, but it's all about being better. The spirit of error is where you come into those dark times of depression. You're going to be tried and tested in everything in life. The point is how you get through it. And so what my dad taught me growing up is that when you get those thoughts in your head, those dark thoughts saying that you're not anything negative of the sort, saying that you're no good or whatever the case is, that's the spirit of error trying to attack you. And that's what that is. You're being attacked mentally, spiritually. That's spiritual warfare. So the thing with that too, like I said, when you give into it, and me being very competitive as I am, very much stubborn and headstrong, I take everything as a competitive thing. So my dad said me, if you giving into those things, it makes you weak-minded. Who you talking to? So I kind of take everything in that mindset. Those thoughts, I'm not going to give into those thoughts because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. Why would I, challenge myself in that way? So when I say I don't believe in depression, meaning I don't give into those dark thoughts because I work my butt off. Why would I achieve so much and then one little thing tell me, oh, you're not what you think you are, and I just let that break me and I just let that chip away at me? My faith is bigger in God. For me to give into a dark thought or to get depressed, that's a slap in God's face. He's allowing me to breathe, to talk. I have a great job. I have a great career. I have a great life. To have all these things going on in life, be able to see another day where some people are dead and gone, and I'm going to sit here and get in a dark mood because I didn't get my way on this. I'm not married. I'm talking about me personally. I'm not married. I don't have no kids. So I'm still here. What's wrong with me? You think so? When I get in my feelings, like probably 2-3 minutes tops, because my dad said I'm conceited, so it don't last long with me. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, depression, I was sitting here thinking, have I ever been depressed? So if you got to think a long time, no. But about what my child said about not believing in depressed. Depression is an cold, evil spirit that takes over your mind. And yes, so if you say, well, you calling people weak. Nope. God, the strongest, highest spirit in the world is that of God. So therefore, Satan's spirit is weak compared to his. So without God and his help, we cannot fight the spirit of depression whoremongering, lying. It just goes down the line. So, in a depressed soul will and can take their life. You know, and I just, me, myself, personally, I think everybody needs someone that they can talk to and confide in. You know, if you don't have one person that you can call your friend, I just think that is lonely and sad. This is my opinion, because God made humans for humans, you know. So, depression, depression shall not live here. I have a strong mind and a strong will. And we teach our children that, you know, like, I ain't gonna lie when I tell my son. About getting angry. Mom, is a sin the anger? The word says anger, but sin not. It's okay
That's the key part.
to be angry. But it's your action or your reaction that happens if you allow that anger to fluster in you. Because it also said anger rested in the bosom of fools. So when you think about those little things, well, I ain't no fool. How come? That's what God said. So let's not let it fluster in you. And whatever you're going through, talk to somebody. Even if you can't talk, trust me, write it down. Because a lot, it's just thoughts. Write your thoughts down. Help yourself. You know, you may not have a relationship like my daughter and I have, like my mother and I have. You know, and I've always said to my children, you can talk to me about anything. We have a total of 4 children. And the other 2 kids I did not have, but I love them just like I had them, and I spent money on them. And they have always been able to call and talk to me about anything. And I'm thankful for that. Even things they did not talk to their biological mothers with, nor their biological father, which is James. You know, but everyone needs someone to talk to. Because a depressed soul is just a lost soul fighting, you know, to get out. And yes, some people, you know, make money off listening to them. But depression, if you allow yourself to go in that whole deepness of feeling bad or feeling sorry for yourself, it will take you out. So, yes, it's real, and yes, it's true. But there's no power greater than God. You know, like James have said in the pulpit, a husband and a wife. If you know your place, there's no need for the D word, the divorce word. Because a husband knows his place and the wife knows her place. And there's nothing between 2 people that God cannot solve. Even if you're not seeking him, trust him. Even if you don't even have God in your marriage. But there's nothing too hard for God to solve. And that's including a broken heart, a depressed mind. You know, and I've heard of, you know, when someone died and people get into depression. We can't do that. None of us came here to live forever on this earth in this flesh. So just think. And I know we don't, as people talk about it, you know, people don't like to talk about death. But if I sit right here today and say, Jazz, if you died tomorrow, do you want me to just drive and die because you died? What would your answer be?
No.
Because if you love that person, I just don't believe your loved one wants you to just die with them.
Man, if they do, they crazy.
You know, but I'm just saying, well, that's not
selfish.
You know, so depression, the only thing that can save us or keep us from depression is the word. Believing and trusting on God. Because how do we come to him? For those of us who don't take heed and listen, he said every knee must bow. Every knee will testify. So, you know, let's not be in such a bad shape that God bring us to him by taking us there. You know, like I say, I don't, for his depression, I can only give my opinions and what I know to be truth about God and love to take you out of that. Because I haven't been in a depressed state before. You know, and it's real and it's true for people. But that's not something, you know, that I have been a part of, but I know what can take me out of it because I believe what God's word says, that he can bring us out of anything. There's nothing too hard for him, you know.
I've never been depressed. But I do have relationships, friendships with individuals who do battle depression. One specifically, I told that I started off with, I don't believe in depression. And so I've learned to stop saying it, or to not say that without following it up with what I mean by that. Not that I don't feel like it exists, but to explain why I say I don't believe in it. And so I asked the young lady, did she believe in God? And she was like, of course I believe in God. I love God. And my response is, there's a difference in believing that there is a God and believing in God. Those are two different things. Because you can believe God exists and not serve him.
True.
Then you can believe that God exists and actually serve him. Now that's believing in God. Because if you believe he exists, you're going to say, well, yeah, I know it's God out there, but you live life the way you want to live life. Believing in God means you not only know he's there, you're doing as he's asking you to do, which means you are a follower of God. Not calling on God whenever you want to. But that's another topic for another day. And so I asked her too, well, what is your relationship like with God? Do you go to church? Do you read your word? Do you meditate on it? Do you actually do the things to bring you closer? Are you actively fighting against sin? Because if you are, if you actually believe in God like you say you do, and you have that relationship with him, you would not be going through that. Because God can bring you, and that was something we talked about today at church. God will bring you out of any and everything that you want to be rid of if you are putting in the work. There's no such thing as, I believe in God, I'm depressed. Because God does not bring depression. That is the spirit of error. So like I told her too, I said, well, if you said that you're depressed, right? Well, I'm saying that's not what I mean. If you're saying that you're depressed, but you're saying you believe in God, you said you got a relationship with God. Okay, so what do you talk to God about your depression? What are you supposed to do?
Well, the question is, ask yourself, why is God allowing this to happen to me?
Why are you going through what you're going through?
Because, and he does, you know, he said he created evil for evil day. You know, he is God, there's no other with him. He killed, he make alive, he healed, he wound. The thing is, why have God brought this against me? And if you be honest, because I have talked to a couple of people, and they was, well, I know why this happened to me. Because if we be honest, we know why God allowed this to happen to us. And we are taught the devil this, the devil that, but the devil doesn't have it. He has to get permission from God. But why? So you ask yourself, oh, I'm so depressed. Why? Well, why has God allowed Satan to attack me or to seek him on me? Why? What is it that I'm doing? Am I lying, pretending like I serve God, I love God? What is it?
So the conversation that I had with the guy who I know is battling depression, I told him, so I said, following God does not mean your life is going to be perfect. You have to be tried and tested and all of the things. I said, but and also, if you say that you are a believer in God, a follower of God, but your entire life has been nothing but turmoil, I'm talking about everything is something bad, you got to sit up there and wonder what it is that you're doing. Because the word says you reap what you sow.
True.
You get your just reward.
True.
And just reward meaning if you do good, you get good back. If you do evil, you get evil back. So if every time you look around, this happening and that's happening and that's happening and that's happening, but you say, oh, I believe in God, God, you're not.
Get the mirror.
You the problem. You are the problem, and your only solution is the one person you are, or the one thing you're saying you believe in, but you actually don't. You believe in him when you're going through it, and you asking him, you call on his name then, but he not listening to you. You can't. If you are battling depression, why are you battling depression? What are you doing that's not aligning?
Pleasing.
That's not aligning with the word and pleasing of God. What is that you're doing? So, in that too, the things with depression. Like I said, I've never gone through depression, but I know too. It's in the black household, our race specifically, seeking help. It's like a bad stigma around there. We don't want to go to the doctor. We don't want to get therapy, especially when it comes to men in general, regardless of the race. Therapy is not an option for you. I don't have a problem with therapy. Let me tell you why. I don't have a therapist. I've never had a therapist. But then also, if that's what you need, then that's what you need. Rita stood up here and said, you got to find you somebody to talk to. Then she said, some people get paid to do it. That's what a therapist is for. Whether you paying them or not, you pay the doctor to go to them. But here's my thing. A lot of people don't have friends. So you're going to have to pay somebody to listen to you and help you work through it. And I'd much rather pay a professional who went to school to understand this, to not only listen to me, but help me work through what is going on, than go to somebody that I don't fully trust and they run my business through the street. Or go to them, we fall out and they run my business through the street. Or I'm talking to them, but they can't help me. Or I'm talking to them, they worse off to me, so they making my situation worse. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with a therapist, whether you're paying them or not. Because one thing for sure, we have no problem with paying for shoes. We have no problem with paying for hair. We have absolutely no problem with paying for what they want to pay for. And you pay a bill when you go to the doctor's office. A therapist is a doctor, a profession that helps you. Journal. I love to journal. I write it all down. Excuse me. But I'm talking to God directly. I pray when I get up in the morning. I pray throughout the day. I pray when I go to bed. But my journal is me praying to God too. That's a complete conversation I'm having with God. Right now, I can tell you the last 3, 4, 5 days, I've been journaling on something specific. I don't care. Every time I pick up that pen, and to me, that's not what I'm finna talk about when me and God finna have this conversation. But that same conversation been the same thing this whole time. Because I'm just like, okay, well, I need to figure this out. Because I'm working it out in my head. But Jasmine and Sade and Jazz are not seeing eye to eye. So we're going to bring a fourth person in here. Because God gonna have to figure this out. And I refer to, depending on what the conversation is, this is how I talk to myself. But I also told a couple of people this week that you have, and I'm hitting on what Rita said when she said, find you somebody to talk to. You have people in your life that you have certain type of relationships with. The relationship that I have with my mother is the same relationship she has with her mother, and the same relationship that I have with her mother, right? But then also I have a relationship with my father, my baby brother, my older brother, my girl best friend, my guy best friend, all of the things. But then also each of them get a certain jazz. What I can say to Rita, I don't care how close me and my grandma are, I wouldn't dare say to her. And my mom is the same way. Right now, it's something I say to my mother, Baba Jean would never know.
Baba Jean don't want to know.
Unless God himself whispered in her ear. She would never hear that in my mouth. She would never know. Vice versa. It's things my mama would have said to my grandma she ain't never said to me. And it probably was about me because they be gossiping about me. I'm just playing.
I don't gossip.
I'm just playing. I'm joking. But you have bits and pieces of yourself that you give to a person. And right now, my 18-year-old cousin, she's in college, her first year in college, and I told her, you have to be mindful of the things that you say to people and who you say to her. Because her and her sisters, they get these friends, and they just get so attached to these friends. And you tell them too much, and then you fall out, and then they hurt your feelings. You have to pick and choose, and that's just me. I keep everybody at arm's distance. I allow people to know what I want them to know, because it'll never be a situation that you'll hurt me or use anything against me. But then also, I don't put things out there. But I made the mistake of telling her, sometimes you just got to keep it to yourself. And I thought about it after the fact. I thought about while I was making a YouTube video. That probably was not the best advice, because...
Pete Farrell?
No,
It was somebody else, because she told Mom she liked her head felt like it was about to burst, but go ahead.
No, this just happened recently.
Okay.
This one about the school situation. It just hit me then. I keep a lot of stuff to myself.
Everybody not like us.
A lot. I journal a lot. I talk to God. Well, and I tell everybody, if it's not business, if it's not in the professional realm, I don't talk to anybody but my immediate family. I got very few people I talk to that's not blood related to me or marriage related to me. And so I do a lot of journaling. And most of the conversations I'm having is between me and God. And sometimes it's just overwhelming because I can never take it off. I don't have anybody to de-stress too. You need somebody to do that with because everybody's not mentally capable of handling it, which is how you fall into depression. I can understand when you feel like you just have no escape to it. And that's just what it is. Especially if you feel like I tell my parents, some stuff I just don't say to them. Because there's no point in me saying it to you if you're not going to listen. Especially your response is, you either believe in God or you don't.
That's a father's response all the time.
Absolutely had nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
To you.
Absolutely.
But I get what you're saying.
But the response is, and that's another thing too, if you know somebody that's dealing with depression or you are that person, but specifically if you know somebody that's dealing with and they confide in you about certain things, we have to learn how to listen. I was just on the live the other day and a girl asked me, what is your listening level? You can rate yourself from 1 to 10. I thought like 8.5. And I accredit that to I brought my best friend up so many times this week how having a relationship with her has made me a better person. I credit my listening skills to my best friend and my college ex-boyfriend. Because I had to learn, okay, which jazz do you want? Do you want the jazz you just sit here and listen? Or do you want the problem-solving jazz? Which one? And there's a difference between listen to respond and listen to comprehend. Because you listening does not mean you got to agree with everything they're saying. Because sometimes people just need to say stuff out loud without you saying anything. Sometimes people just need to vent. They need to hear themselves say it. You ain't got to tell them they stupid. If they hear it loud enough, they'll think they self. I'm just chose a word. You don't have to tell them they being crazy. Because I know somebody. She's like, I'm finna go key his car. I look at her.
Ooh, call it chill.
Because I'm just like.
Did it bring back some memories?
No. No, I'm just I'm just like, are you finna key somebody's car? Oh, okay. You're going to jail. I just want you to know. And if the police call me, I'm snitching. I just need you to know that now. But that's not here nor there. I'm not no terrible friend. Don't do it. Don't do nothing and tell me that's premeditated. That's all I'm saying. You have to find your escape. That's my thing on it. I want to say I guess I do get it. I get it in the aspect if you don't have anything else. Oh, it just hit me just then.
Get what? Depression?
Yeah, the mental state of them being. It just hit me just then when Daddy say, if you got God, you ain't lonely. You ain't distracted. It just hit me just then. I was like, I never said I was lonely. But I want my person. He was just like, you got God. You don't need. We started off the conversation saying,
I said it.
God made people for people. We are codependent, whether we want to be or not. You can be a loner, introvert, whatever the case is, but we are still codependent. We need each, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, all the things. You need somebody else to survive, whether you want to admit it or not. We are made to be codependent. That ain't just in relationships. It's in relationships. It's in all forms of relationships. It's not just marriages. Parents, all of the things. Because imagine going through this world and it's just you.
I want to say I've never, ever been lonely. And I thank God. And I can remember I had a friend, so my children were still in school, so this probably 15 years ago, maybe longer than that. And she was like, you don't get lonely? No. You know, my parents had 2 children. And me and my brother, you know, we was at home, when we was home alone, you know, I was older, so it was he and I, or our first cousin, but when we was home alone, we played, he had Cowboys and Indians, and I had dolls. So we learned how to be alone. It was just 2 of us. And so I've never been lonely, and I thank God for that. Because the first person you got to learn to get along with is yourself. Now, when James said, if you have God, you're not lonely. You know, so if we're going to go into the spiritual sense, because God is all comfort. But, hey, if you don't have Him, if you just have a zeal of Him, but knowledge according to knowledge, that's what it will leave you. Spiritual, you have Him. But this flesh person here wants somebody.
Can you stop poking me?
To deal with, to talk with, to play with, to whatever. And
To
that's
lay in the bed with, to
all
cuddle
of it.
with, to
All
go
of
to the
it.
movies with.
You know, and you know, as Paul said, he have all men to be like him. But it ain't for everybody to be like
I ain't
Paul.
trying to get down like Paul, baby. I'm trying to
just
get
saying,
down.
you know, so let you know, but
Get
at
down.
the end of the day, love starts with loving yourself first.
Self-love. You don't love you can't love the next person.
Right. And the depression. If you are depressed, there is something that didn't happen. All we have to do is be honest. You know, like I started off, talk to somebody, write it down. Like my child says, she journals. Well, that's a form of dealing with whatever. She write things down.
That's like the right.
Believe it or not, I used to do that. You know,
She can't stand it now.
well, I just don't do it now. And I used to write all the time. I used to read all the time. I used to talk to myself all the time. And that's why I can get
Crazy.
along. A crowd, I don't have to be in a crowd. I'm good with a crowd and I'm good without. Because I guess I learned how to love me at an early age. How to deal with me at an early age, you know. And for us, like she was saying about trusting and talking, and their dad taught them to watch everybody. Watch what comes out of people. You can say one thing, but watch them. You know, and the scripture teaches us to watch down all things. Because I say I love you, or I'm your friend, or I got your best interest in heart.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes. You know, and I'm gonna use me. Like she was saying, I am a listener. Yes, I talk back to you. But over my 54 years of living here, so I'm going to say 55 because, heck, I can't remember stuff past that. But I have talked to a lot of people. I'm talking about talking to people conversing, so I ain't going to try to pretend like I
54.
did. I know.
you-
So, 5 years, so 50. Anywho, I have talked to a lot of people, and I have listened to a lot of people. And I'm quite sure I got some people's secrets in my head that I ain't even thought about. But if I can tell Jasmine something to help her, I would tell Jazz some things that I have heard down through the years from people without disclosing who they are. That's how you help people. You know, you just don't go out and sit because you should not betray anyone's confidence. You know? But if I can help you by telling you something that's in my past or something that happened to me, then I would do that. You know?
But and also, that information got to be wanted. Because if the person don't
That's
want
what
to
I was
hear
finna say. You didn't let me finish. But I was finna say, I have talked to person saying, but that ain't me. But this ain't this, but that. Everything may not be the exact thing like you. But if I chose to tell you that story, it's for a reason. You know? And the only
Now, my point is, everybody don't want you to say nothing back.
true.
You got the if you're gonna be there for somebody, be there for them in the way they need you to be there, not in the way that you want. Now that I can say about this guy I've been talking to via TikTok. That's how we met. That's how we developed our friendship. We go live, and not to put his business out there, but he's very open on TikTok. But he say his last relationship ended because what he asked her to do, she couldn't do. The only simple thing he ever asked. But we're not gonna go into detail with that. My thing is, when people talk about love, everybody wants to be loved the way they want to be loved. But you have to reciprocate that. You have to love people the way they want to be loved. And if you want things a certain way, for instance, if you say, I don't like flowers, but I love chocolate. But you know, Valentine's Day come up and people love to buy people chocolates and flowers, all this and third. So your guy buys you flowers because he likes flowers. And you just take it. Then so long you just get mad. And you just like, this is not what I want. I don't want flowers. I told you don't buy me flowers. And he gets a problem with it. You either know that person or you don't. You either respect them or you don't. Because if they said, hey, I appreciate the gesture. However, I don't like flowers because I'm not gonna take care of them. It's gonna be a waste of money. You're gonna kill the flowers. Love that person how they want to be loved. Therefore, by loving them, you have to respond to them the way they want to be responded. If that person tells you that they want to talk and they don't want you to say anything, I don't care how many solutions you come up with in your head. Shut up. And I'm talking to me because I'm a problem solver. And I have so many people confide in me. And that's how I know I've grown because I sit there and won't say a word. And now if you hit me with that, what you got to say, I'm like, what? Do you feel better? Okay, now tell me what you need. Because still I'm not finna propose a suggestion because you can say something, that person will flip out on you in a heartbeat. You have to give people what they want. If you're saying you're going to be a good friend, hey, now I'm not saying aid in the bed that friend and doing something stupid. But when it comes to listening to a person that's battling depression or having an emotional situation, you got to get it. Because I'm telling you one thing about her. I don't care what she do with other people. When it comes to me, oh, she going to voice her opinion. Her mama, her husband. Nobody asked you about...
So I've never asked you?
I made a TikTok video.
We didn't discuss that already.
No, we haven't on here. I made a TikTok video and posted it. Everybody knows I don't curse. Everybody knows I hate the B word. You would never address me as such. You'll never hear me address you as such. And if in any form you come out with me saying the B word towards me or at me in any way, that's it for me. I'm done. We have nothing else to talk about. Made a video. The video is about the conflict. Ignoring the B word that's in the song, it says something so you're not on my level. This is what I do. Blah, blah, win, blah, blah. Only thing Rita focused on that whole video was the B word. I posted to my story because it erases. Rita goes and reads my story, watches my story, and calls me to chew me in about a video.
Did I send you a comment on that first before I called you?
I don't know. I didn't have my phone. The phone started ringing.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Went in there and, and now I mentioned, because I saw the message, I said, sent me a message in all capital letters.
Well, first of all, hold up. That's the way I text. And this garbage about you yelling at people, well, I guess that's what I do, yell. Because most or all of my texts are, because to me, it's bold. It's like on a typewriter, you bold. That means I'm trying to get your attention.
Yelling.
Whatever, go ahead.
Pull up a text message. All of them are not in capital letters, so let's get this straight from the jump. Anyway.
Do we need to pull them up?
Pull them up. They can see it from there as big as your phone is. Anyway. Anyway, she proceeds to go in on me about my post on my story. And she said, no, that's what the text message said. I'm not going to address this. This is my first and last time saying something about it. Blah, blah, I do not like this, blah, blah, this, and third. I saw it come across my watch. And I swiped away because I got a phone call. And she proceeds to call me and go in. And when she got, I said, you done? Are you going to take it down? I'm not. Well, that's not... You said you weren't going to address it no more. You still talking about it. So she hung up. I went back to doing work. Come there for her lunch break. Brings it up again. Instead of going, I said, then you said you was going to stop addressing it. First of all, the video deletes. Number one. That's why I posted on my story and did not make a full post. Number two, you missed the point. She didn't care about the point of the video. Didn't care about nothing. I don't think she focused on that one word. And she was like, the position you're holding and what you doing on this and third. Everybody and their mama curse. Except for me. Everybody and their mama. I don't want to dress myself like that. Don't care myself. It don't matter what it was. She was going to impose her opinion. So I said, and that's the problem. I didn't ask you for your opinion. I asked you stop about that. Baby, she took offense to that. So like I said, I don't care what she's talking about she doing with the other folks. She going to tell me exactly how she feel, whether I want it or not. Even if I tell, and so then too, and what annoys me, I'll be like, okay, I tell her something for her opinion. She'll sit there and say, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm coming to you for a reason. I ain't got nothing to say. Cool. Fine. So then when I go do something, now you got a problem. What she have to say? Nothing. Like I said, if it's asked, okay. If it's asked, give it. If it ain't asked, keep it.
I can pull up these texts and I know people see.
No, baby, I done seen her whole screen while I'm talking to y'all. Peripheral vision.
What?
Baby, please.
Facebook, we'll go on Facebook, see my tag. Anywho, another thing about that young lady, Jasmine. I am your mother. And if I see something that I think is not appropriate, I will address her. And yes, I told her I'm the text might have said I'm not going to address it again. This is how I feel.
And she kept addressing it.
But no. So when I sent her another text that I thought was nice, how about she thought it was in reference to that? That's how we got on the subject.
Because that came first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't help that. But anywho, as I was saying, now, she said she don't want my, what were you saying?
I didn't say that, but you finna make up something, so keep going.
My advice? Oh, you say I just can't sit there and listen. That's what we were talking about?
Sure, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, now, with her, what'd you say?
You just making up stuff. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'm asking you what you were saying.
I want you to finish your statement. Because this last 2 weeks, I say something to her, and she'll come back with a completely different thing that was never said. She just doing, listen.
But that doesn't matter either. When we over there talking, and I said something, she never heard me, and the kids say, yes, she did. And she said they're siding with me.
Whole time.
So it's a whole time.
So I'm finna snitch on them now. Whole time they just like, shit, I know you did. They scared of you.
I know they ain't lying.
They're scared of you. It's okay. I've been waiting to bust your bubble. Come on, keep going.
So
Tell
they
the
been lying?
Tell the people. Or they'll say, you'll say your first statement, I already been in the act. And by the time you say something, it'll been too low or I'm already done with it. Then you be like,
Okay, well,
say
that. Because I have said it, though.
It don't matter if you said it if I didn't hear it.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, back to what we were saying. And let's get back to this topic here about listening.
Got her.
And she said she don't know what I do with other people. Well,
I didn't say that.
yes, you did. You said
I said regardless of what she said, she do with other people. She don't do that with me.
Right.
That's what I said.
And so let's get back to that. At the end of the day, I'm your mom. So with those
I gotta
other people,
counteract.
it doesn't matter. I am not their mother. I'm listening to my friend or whoever it is, and I do listen to my daughter. And yes,
You don't listen to comprehend.
my first reaction is to solve her problem. But I have realized I cannot solve her problem nor fix her problem.
It ain't solving if it's not a problem.
If you're talking about it, you tell me something.
If I'm just talking to you and you go in, I wouldn't do that. That's not a problem. That's your opinion what you wouldn't do.
Okay.
That ain't no problem. Like me saying, if I get interested in a guy, case in point, Jazz does not want to date a guy with kids. This is the easiest example. I don't want a man with kids. I don't want a man with kids. But I realized at my age, maybe that's not gonna happen. I'm trying to figure that out. And anytime a guy shows interest in me, and they got kids or something of the sort, we'll say tattoos or something, she'll be like, too bad for him. He don't want a man with no kids. She just said this. She just said this other day, and I don't even respond because I never said I was interested in anybody. Matter of fact, it's been a minute since she heard me or since I've said something about being married and having kids.
People?
No, and I just keep going, and I just be sitting there telling her about X, Y, and Z, and she's just like, sucks for him. You don't want a man be something like it'll
What's
just be
wrong
something.
with that?
And I'm like, okay, and moving on, and it gonna come back again.
Well, I'm responding to her conversation because if you done said you don't want all these things, and when you
but because I'm telling you about a person who has showed interest in me, I never once said I wanted that person. Whatever case is, none of that played into effect. But I know what I said I didn't want.
so you saying you don't want me to say that?
No, it's the whole when it has nothing to do with what we talking about.
If you're telling me that so and so, that's my response.
Just like I told her about a guy. This man says he's in love with me. He in a whole relationship. I tell her something, and that, ma'am, that's not what we doing. But anyway, here's the point. She said that I'm her child. That's what you said, right?
I did.
I'm your child at the end of the day.
Yes.
You gonna say your piece.
Nope, I didn't say I was gonna say.
No,
my
that's
piece.
what I'm finished. That's what I'm
I
saying.
didn't say because I didn't.
You gonna say
that.
your piece. You gonna say what you need to get off your chest, regardless,
That's what
right?
you said.
But
Nope,
what?
That's not
Yes.
what I said.
That's how you feel.
Nope.
You gonna? I'm your child, so you gonna say what you want to say.
Nope,
Say what you said.
I didn't say that.
Say what you said.
I said you were my child Those are my friend and people I'm listening to.
Okay, so with your child, you gonna say what you want to say.
Not what I want to say, Jay. If you're calling me and we're in a conversation, yes, I'm gonna give you my opinion.
Okay.
But I am learning to.
And that's what you want to say?
Like you've been saying, learn to be quiet, Mama. So
Whew. Anyway, she gonna say her opinion. Gonna use her exact words. Here's the thing. No, there was a reason why I was saying it in that certain way. Because you saying you gonna say your opinion, but you gonna enforce your opinion, your idea of what you feel like it should be. But this is what she tells my father. We not ready to raise our kids. They're grown. Do you see the face? Look at her face.
I do.
Okay,
That's true.
but that don't apply to you, Bobby
does.
Jean. Bobby Jean.
No, it does.
You got a
apply
set
to
of rules
me.
for
No,
you and
no.
a set of rules for somebody
That
else.
applies to
Did you
me.
see the? Oh, okay then. Oh, okay, it applies to you.
Yeah.
So then again, because it's not something that you would do,
Mm-hmm.
does not mean what that Jazz has to do.
That
Because
is
like I
true.
respect when it comes to dating, like I say, no, I wouldn't do that, baby. Y'all don't even have cell phones. We was talking about online dating. Mind you, I don't do it. Oh, her husband went in. Ma'am, y'all had to make phone calls on the landline.
So,
Just like that time. What's the
and
story?
we wrote letters.
Okay, I see it. Y'all wrote letters. Right. That ain't in this day and age. Because some of these folks ain't even got mailboxes.
People still write letters. What you think texting is? It's writing a
Okay.
letter.
Electronics. My point
It's
exactly.
still writing a letter.
I don't go to clubs.
Mhm.
Y'all went to clubs. Like I told them dating and my dating two different eras, right? I didn't go to clubs. I don't go to clubs. They went to clubs. That's how they met at the softball park and they went to clubs. Now, okay,
We didn't
I
meet
said
at
the
a club.
softball park
Okay.
and they went to clubs. Okay, now, Daddy said, oh, I'm coming to pick you up. We're going out. He got his phone. Daddy went out, left Rita at the house. And Rita had to go she couldn't call his phone. Why? He ain't had them. They didn't have phone.
Yes, they did. We had cell phones back then. We just didn't have.
Okay, like I said, he didn't have them. Okay, so what you had to do? Pull up on him at the club. And what she did, pinched him on the butt. He just. Every time you tell that story, it tickled me. Getting down. Cause she pinched him again. She finna cause the scene. She cleared the floor. She cleared the dance floor. Then turned up in that club. What do Jazz do? None of the sort. Why? I'm not finna chase no man down. You got one time to lie to me. We're good.
Oh, you said I chased him?
Did you not?
No, I did not.
Did you
First
follow him
of
to the
all,
club?
you don't lie to me and tell me you're going to come pick me up.
Okay. So
I
what you
will roll
did?
up. I
You
didn't
pulled
chase
up. You pulled. Okay, change the word. You pulled up on him, right?
Yes.
I'm not finna do that. We're done. Don't worry about it.
But at the end of the day, baby, who left? I left and he come running. Please don't come here. Let me talk to you.
It don't matter.
I'm just saying.
The point is, it's different. The point is,
It's not
it's
different.
different.
It still goes
No. No, that's not what I'm talking about. The point is, what you would have done and would do and will want is completely different from me because this is a different day and era. And because I choose to do a certain thing, don't mean that what you. If I ask your opinion on, because especially when I'm coming to her talking to her about a guy, and she chooses not to respond, cool. I gave you the opportunity to say something. You chose not to say something.
But why?
Hold on. So and then, if I'm telling you something, I ain't asked you for your opinion, baby. You ready to impose? But her mama do it. Her husband do it. Her stepdaddy did it.
But why
Your
do I
brother?
not respond? Because what is she just spending all this time saying? So sometimes I do listen to her and says,
She don't be listening.
"You baby,
You can
please,
tell when she
you are
irritated.
grown. Make your own decision."
That's
how I feel about
that's the
that.
statement that she says when she don't like
No.
something. That is what she says.
Because now I've always said this: if you don't want jive or turkey, that's your business. It's not gonna be because of nothing that I said to you because you done already told me what you didn't want. Just like when she was saying she don't want a man with kids, took her in to Florida, that she on the dateline. This joker done been divorced and got a child too. I said, oh, so he ain't this here, and you gonna give him a chance. Okay, where I'm coming
What
from.
she
So
said
don't
was-
say no. So don't say what you don't want, and because now all of a sudden even started. Well, I got to rethink that. You ain't got to rethink anything because just like you are a 30-year-old woman who don't have any kids, it's some more guys your age, just like the man just told you yesterday. He was 40 years old when he had his first son, 42 when he had his second son, and he was done and through. And he said because he went out there just throwing babies everywhere. So it's still some men out there who don't have kids.
Irrelevant. Here's the thing. She said, I gave that man a chance. He's a white guy.
I didn't say what he was. I did not put a color on it.
You just said, oh, you did that with him because he was so-and-so, but not with this one. That's a color. Anyway, so because of that, and daddy was in on too. So I said, that's fine. So then, the guy, it was a black guy that had a kid. Oh, we thought it was one. Found out he got 4. About 3 different females. So I was done. I said, see, get that.
But
Ain't
see
no
what
in-between
happened
me.
when
But
you
here's the thing
changed
with
from
that.
what you started with.
Here's the thing with that, though. I forgot my whole point of what I was going to say, because she just want to go into tell some man business online. Why? Because what the heck? What he had
What
to do?
man business I told online?
Had his first kid when he was 40,
didn't know
and
his
the second
name.
don't matter.
But what he was telling her
Did
was...
she just say she keep them? She got secrets locked up in the vault, baby. That conversation just had yesterday.
But the point is, so who knew that? But what he said is that.
The whole
It's
point
something out
is,
there without him. He was just telling her,
This is
you
not
don't
about
have to be
dating.
slanging your eggs around, producing babies everywhere. Wait on the man.
he don't have it. Anyway, the point is you have
Sperm.
to learn. The point is you have to learn when to listen and when to speak. You have to give people what they are asking of you, and if you cannot do that, then you need to bow out and say, "Hey, I can't do that," respectfully, and walk away. I don't care what relationship you have with them, because every time it's not gonna be received well, and that's just what it is. And in my 30 years of living, because she is 54, so she got a 24-year age gap on me. But and also in my time, it's stuff I learned because I learned from other people's mistakes, and having the friends that I have and interact with people that I interact with. I have no problem with being alone. Because people drain me. I spend all day in people's face. And I've learned I can get along with, and I am a type A personality, very headstrong, but and also I can get along with any and everybody, and I can attest it to the way that I was raised. I have no problem with cutting people off, but I understand some people just have to be around somebody. That's not me. So from a person who does not have to be around somebody, if you get into that point, you just like, man, because I'm not going to tell you that sometimes my feelings are here when I come home and I don't have a husband, I'm coming home, so I'm just coming home to my 2 little dogs. Because they get irritating real fast. Unless I'm tired. I'm like, I ain't got time for this.
Well, you left home without the husband.
Because she know that don't even make sense.
No.
Because had I left home with a man at the age of 18. Okay, exactly.
That's not what I'm saying. You said when you come home, you left your house with your 2 dogs here.
Anyway,
Okay, girl.
if you want a mother,
Okay.
I put her number in the comment section.
All right.
Use it whenever you need. But be ready to get chewed out.
You can just stop being my daughter.
How the heck I'm gonna do that?
Okay, so how you figure you can give me away as a mother, baby?
No, because I'm saying if y'all need somebody, okay, and I'm gonna give her y'all number. Just DM me, and we gonna see. By the time she get through giving out her advice, she ain't gonna have nothing. She ain't even have time to listen to me, baby.
What your friends say about your mama?
Get you cuckoo? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What they say about you?
If you don't know, I can't tell you.
Her friend just told me the other day. It's just like looking at your mama. I said, where? And his son said some sideways to me, so my mouth came back real slick. He said, oh my God, I'm looking at Rita 2.0. It is what it is. Only difference is, Jazz does not impose her wishes, thoughts. Now, here's my thing I can say. If somebody comes to me with something and I ask them, what you need, what you want, if you don't want my help, you don't want my son, you just need my list, I'm just going to listen. I'm not going to say a word. And you don't have to worry about nothing being judged, this, and third. That's fine with me. I hope you feel better now. This and that. Let me know if you need anything else. Hang up the phone. Then pick that phone up again. I'm calling Rita. Like, God, let me tell you what's going on. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Now, I don't call woman gossip. But also, if it's something, I'm just like, now with someone like, such and such got this going on. And if it was me, I don't feel like, I'm just not finna do that. I tell mom that all the time. Or I tell my mama, listen, this person going through this and I ain't say nothing to her. Or I ain't say nothing to him. I'm gonna tell mom because if it was me, because then I'd do that with her. That's the only time mama imposed my idea, but it's to her. It's not to that. But anyway.
I've never told you that you need to just listen to so and so. Cause look like somewhere in our conversation about these friends or whoever been telling you things.
You said what?
I've never told you need to just listen to so and so.
You told me that about.
I have told you that, Jazz, but it's fine because children see their parents in a different eyesight. You know, like I said to her when we started this journey when she was in 5th or 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I don't remember.
What journey?
About you, about mama and dad and raising children. And I said unto her, when the good Lord bless you with a husband and some children, whatever it is that you think mama's not doing right, don't do it. You just make sure that's wrong first. You know. And that's just years now.
How we get to this?
I'm just saying because
depression.
Yeah, depression. Well, we also talking about how you see your parents.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Now she in her feelings.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you something, Jazz. Pay attention. Wake up. Wake up. How you see mama and how the next person see mama. I said, well, Jazz, what did your friend say about mama? I don't know. Okay. Well, that's fine too.
What they say?
That's what I asked you. So they never told you they love your mom. I wish I had a mom like yours. You and your mom, so we'd have forgot all these things.
They said plenty of things, but which did they say?
But it doesn't matter. But
everybody loves another person's parent. I ain't never said I had bad parents.
No, everybody don't love other people's parents.
All children sit there and say, man, I wish my folks like yo. Plenty of times I've had folks. Plenty of times I've never said it ever in my life. Plenty of times I've had friends or children sit there and say, man, I wish my parents like you. And I'm just like, my folks strict as crap. What are you talking about?
That's how you feel about your parents. That's what I'm saying.
It'll be about certain things. Mm-hmm. But for me, I would not change my upbringing because these children, he scare me. When I say children, I'm talking about people my age. The adults in my era, the ones older than me, the ones younger than me, they scare me because y'all live life so recklessly. And this is not me being judging. This is me being grateful for where I come from. But because I don't want to, I would not change the way I was brought up does not mean there were not things that you did that I was not okay with. Just like the way I was brought up, me being your child, no matter how much you are proud of me, it's stuff that I do that you don't like. That's just what that is.
Let's go back to depression. And I'm going to say this because I just remember my mama saying the only strong survive. Yes.
I think that's how we get through a lot of stuff.
It is. Because at the end of the day,
thing.
That's right. You know, we think that. And with that being said, you know, only the strong survive. But the word of God says, he who endures to the end shall make it in. So that means we got to press through whatever it is. And if you ever get to your lowest point, just look, you know, God, what is it that I'm doing? Because the word also says, when a man ways please the Lord, he may even his enemies be at peace with him.
Keyword, peace.
Yes, but we got to please God. And you might say, oh, you just know. Because I have been on this, when James and I got married, so right before that, we decided to walk this walk with God. And has it been some challenging walks? Sometimes. Not because of God, because of me, because of self. Have I seen or done some things that I would say caused me to stumble? Nobody else. I'm talking about me. Yes. But at the end of the day, with all my heart, I trust God and I love God. And my plan is to make it into the eternal life. So I will do what's right to make my happiness and my peace of mind be what God called us to be. When it said, create in me, God, a clean heart, renewing me a righteous spirit. Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. But you got to have something in you to make you see, hey, I'm not living right. Why am I depressed? What is going on with me? Why have God allowed Satan to take control of my mind? What is it? Stop playing with the Lord Seek Him. Seek God and His righteousness. What you laughing at, y'all? If you seek Him diligently and with your heart, He'll take care of all of that. I done got her tickle over here, people.
You went through a whole dramatic play in a span of 8 minutes. This one just played 8 different roles.
What do you mean?
You played the depressed,
I wasn't playing depressed.
the Christian,
What the heck are you talking
the
about?
healer.
Hey, Ray, they say them women crazy.
Oh, when you hear your voice, listen, Whoopi, stop it. Angela Bassett, listen. Listen, that whole, I just wanted to hit on that earlier too, with the people get so depressed, they feel like when you start in there digging that hole and you get deeper and deeper into it, you gotta be careful, because sometimes you can't see your way out. And I don't care what somebody is showing you, you have allowed that to take hold of you. I don't care how many ways out that there are, you're not gonna see it, because you let yourself get too deep into it. And those ones who just feel like that's it, they're done, they not forgetting, they kill themselves. Think about it. And I just said on the last episode, don't use scare tactics to change people's mind. But I'm gonna hit you with a scare tactic. You say you can't take it no more, you gonna end it all. I don't know who told you that people who commit suicide go to heaven. That's a lie. Because God determines when you go and when you go. So you choose, hey, I'm going to end it all. You saying that you got more power. You like, all right, cool. I don't care now what you talking about, God. I'm going to get how I live. So you think you just going to take your life. That's showing disrespect to the man who has held you up your entire life, right? So you end it. If you kill yourself, that means you want to be away from God.
Mm-hmm.
So why would He allow you up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't understand when people put on there. You know somebody committed suicide. Happy heavenly birthday. That man ain't up there. That man down there. This is heaven. When people say heaven on earth, this is heaven on earth. Because I don't care how bad it get, it's better than what's down there. Because that is eternal torment.
Damnation.
Separated from God. It's not just fight, but that's something you'll never stop burning until the end of time, and there's no end of time. It's suffocating. It's just like, think about it. I saw the TikTok video. When your lungs filling up with liquid and you struggling to breathe, that's what hell is. When you are suffocating and you're suffocating and inhaling smoke, that's what hell is. Being up here, think about your worst times 1,000,000. When you feel like you separated from God, it's time infinity away from God. Forever. It's never ending. The worst pain you have ever experienced times infinity. It's never ending. So I can assure you, whatever it is that you think you're going through on this side, it's nothing compared to what you're going to be going through
if you want.
on that side. And that's what I tried to do. And I remember my best friend told me, she was just like, sometimes I think about killing myself. I said, do it. You bad. And that was my response. I said, because if you want to be that selfish, because that's what I see suicide is, selfish. Because you leaving it for us to deal with, for us to grieve with, for us to clean up, us to have to deal with, for us to be wondering why. And nobody's going to be wondering more than the person that brought you in this world, who cared for you, who took care of you, brought you life, the reason why you were here. Selfish. I realized later that that's not the statement that I should have made to her, and I did apologize for that. That's how I feel. It is a selfish act. It's inconsiderate. And also, there is nothing that you're going through right here that's going to be worse than what you're going to get over there. Because you're not going to heaven, baby. This is not one of those podcasts that sit up there and try to sugarcoat something. This is what's true. I'm not giving you no lies. I'm not giving you no nothing made up. This is real. And you can read this in your word. Hell exists. All these people say you can live like the way you want to live. All you got to do is say, I love the Lord. And they telling everybody in heaven. If you listen to a podcast, or you listen to a man up there preaching this and third, and they telling you that these sins are okay, they are lying to you. And that is not where you want to be. Oh, it's okay to do this. It's not okay. It's not. And if you're living your life that way, and you're wondering why you're depressed, You got your answer. You ain't got to keep wondering. The way out of depression is through God. That's the only way. You got to take it to God. And you got to stop whatever it is you're doing and actively seek your way out. And on that note,